The closing of the Strait of Hormuz. Once again, the Iranian Navy working to block access only hours after announcing the reopening of the strait.
The regime says the strait will be closed as long as the U.S. blockade remains in place. So we're joined by global security expert Hal Kempfer tonight with a look at all this problem. Hal, it's head-spinning stuff, right? What I don't quite get, maybe you can help me figure out here. If Iran did open the strait, why did the blockade remain in place?
Well, Brian, the blockade keeps pressure on Iran. Right now, Iran's got a clock ticking. The regime has a clock ticking. In about 3 to 4 weeks, the economy basically stops to functioning, at least functioning as a normal economy. They know that. They also know that if their economy stops functioning, they're likely to see the same thing they saw back in December and January, where the Iranian people went to the streets, decided they'd had it with the regime. So we kept the pressure on. Bottom line was that the Iranian regime really wasn't responding to everything that we'd said. We told them, hey, look, you need to open up the strait. They turned around and said, well, we think the Lebanese situation is tied to the ceasefire, so therefore we're not going to open it up. So it's, you got finger pointing both ways, but it's not a surprise that they did something like they did today.
And speaking of the economy, our own gas prices, so many people want to see relief at the pumps. Does this drive gas prices up further, or can we expect anything good to come out this coming week?
Ashley, that's a great question. It really depends on what happens tomorrow. Will we get past this? Could we see ships going in there? The other side of this is that there's a full court press to open up parts of the strait, passages through the strait, that Iran really doesn't control. Now, one of the things Iran has done, we've been waiting to see this, is they've been sending out these fast gunboats, if you will, and they attacked a tanker today with the gunboats. Didn't even announce or warn the tanker. They just attacked it. They hit another ship, probably with an anti-ship missile. But the problem is, despite what the president says, despite what the Iranian government says, unless groups like the IMO and Lloyd's of London say the risk is low enough for ships to go through with lower insurance rates, we're not going to see a lot of shipping go through. Without that shipping, you're not going to see gas prices stay consistently low because oil and also natural gas are flowing out of the strait.
Good point. Follow the money, right? Hal, tell me about the nuclear ambitions of Iran. And President Trump talked about that a little bit yesterday, of us taking care of it or taking it away from them. What's your understanding about where that is?
Well, our position has always been that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That actually goes back multiple administrations. Our position has always been that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. Iran has always kind of played this game where they try to enrich uranium. They say, oh, we're not going to create a weapon. Now they got a bunch of stuff that's up to 60% grade, just a slight hop from making it to 90%, which would then put it into the weapons category. They could actually make that. That's what we hit with Midnight Hammer last June, where facilities and storage areas where those are held. The president uses the term nuclear dust, which is kind of referring to the fact that we blew those places up and there's probably a lot of radioactive dust. Right now, there's a discussion of a $20 billion in sanctions that we control, that we could release that if they allow us to go in there and take custody of all that enriched uranium. But I think we're a long way there. There's a lot of details to be worked out. And I used to be the director of intelligence for a multinational task force that actually dealt with the consequences of nuclear weapons in the Middle East. I can tell you, it's a lot of work. It's not something that's going to get done in weeks. It's probably going to take months or even longer.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, global security expert Hal Kempfer. And Hal, tell us your podcast one more time, because you have so much information and you have been showing up for us and answering these questions. I'm sure people want to learn more.
Well, Ashley, it's STRAT for Strategic Risk Assessment Talk. It is available on basically everywhere you can get your podcasts. And I usually like to keep it around 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes they get a little long-winded if I got a big topic, but we're going to be talking about we got a new one coming out tomorrow. It's going to talk about obviously the strait, what's happening there, but also getting to some of the other issues that are tied to it and some of the economic issues tied to it to kind of give it a little bit more context.